Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of June 6th, 2022. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week we're bringing you a sampler of past discussions on summary topics to kick off the season. Summary like, about summer, as opposed to we're summarizing everything we've talked about in the past, because that would be lengthy. This one is from June 2019, when we celebrate a pre-pandemic high school graduation.
Today, Nicole is going to fill us in on why she's only half here. She says that she has a graduation hangover.
I do. We are done. And
Yay!
Yay! It culminated last night in Kristen's graduation ceremony from her high school. And if our listeners have been following along, it's been quite a year for us, particularly with the whole university process.
Right.
But now that free public education part is over. Yes!
It's over.
Now we get to start paying.
Yeah, but now we have choices. We have options. We're not stuck with
That's true.
what
That's
they
a good way
give
to look
us.
at it.
Not saying it was a bad experience, but it had its moments. And then, of course, she did great. She received some awards and scholarships. Everything was going tickety-boo. And then the last day, so 2 days ago, so the last day of school before the ceremony yesterday, she and a bunch of her friends decide that they're going to do this paper toss, which is like, a thing that they do now where they take the papers out of their binders and throw them all up in the air and take a picture of it for Instagram or Snapchat.
Right.
Harmless fun.
And it looks fun, but the principal all year had been really adamant about no senior pranks.
Uh-oh.
No senior pranks or you will not walk at graduation. Yes. So, and on their, so I went on their website, the high school website, to look and see what was considered a senior prank, and they had listed paper tossing.
Oh, no.
So all day on Wednesday, I was a stress case. I'm like, oh my God, you're not going to walk. I was expecting a call from the office all day, and I was like so stressed about it. I'm like, how could you, you came this far, and now,
Right.
and I bought an outfit for your graduation ceremony. But anyway, so it turned out it was fine. It slid under the radar, and so she participated in their ceremonies. But it was nice. It was where we live is a very small town, so there's lots of tradition, and her high school is like 126 years old, so it's all sorts of small town pomp and circumstance.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of fun. There are 500 kids to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a long sit.
that was long we had to be there we were there 2 hours beforehand and to get seats, and then we had to wait another hour and a half for it to start, and then it was 3 hours long. So it was a long day, and bathrooms were on the other side of the area. And the other unique thing about where they have these graduation ceremonies, it's in an outside venue. They call it the Redlands Bowl. It's kind of like a smaller version of the Hollywood Bowl, if you've ever been there.
Oh, wow.
And it's very lovely, but it's outdoors, and it's Southern California.
That's
So
pleasant.
I got myself a nice sunburn last night. It was so hot. So yeah.
Hey, New Jersey graduations in June are not such a picnic either.
No, I don't imagine they would be. But I'm used to graduation indoors. That's just how we do things in where I come from.
In civilized parts.
Yeah, with, controlled temperatures.
Yeah. But you can't do that with a 500 kid graduating class.
Well, they do it here.
Do they?
It's close to that number. They have it in the gym. They have it in the high school field house.
But then they have to limit how many people you can bring, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we did
That
this
is not
too,
popular.
because this is a small venue. It's all bench seating.
Uh-huh.
So each grad only had 6 tickets. So there was a lot of like black market ticket sales.
Yeah.
So
we always have ours in the stadium, and in the stadium anybody can go who wants because it's huge. But there's always if it rains, then it has to move into the gym, and then only like 2 people can go for each graduate.
Right.
So there's always that fear. What's going to happen if we have to go inside? Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That'd be stressful. Well, and it's very stressful. You're trying to make sure you get the right seat, and everyone's, out for themselves. And
Now, do the graduates there do the beach balls?
Oh, no.
And inflatable items?
No, there's no, and it's a repeated message starting from the beginning of their senior year.
Yeah,
up until
we get
the very
those
last
too.
minute. There's no beach balls, no
and
lays.
the kids still do it.
No.
I don't know how they smuggle them in somehow.
Oh,
because I think they get searched.
Yeah, we do. We had to open our bags and get searched.
Yeah.
No food, no full water bottles, which was really weird.
Oh my gosh.
What?
You're
Were they afraid you were going to squirt people?
Yeah, like you could take an opened water bottle, but not an unopened water bottle.
Gee, I would think it was the other way around, because you could have alcohol in an open water bottle.
I know.
Are they sniffing them?
I don't know I don't know the deal with that. There are all sorts of rules.
Yeah.
No cheering and clapping when the grads went up. No.
We have all those rules, and people completely ignore them. Year after year after year. It's embarrassing. I mean, the kids, okay, you're exuberant, it's exciting, you smuggled in a beach ball, go for it. But the parents are just as bad. They're cheering on the bad behavior and yelling and screaming when they're supposed to be quiet, and booing,
Right.
Yeah.
It's very bad behavior at our graduation.
No, they really impress on the kids that they have to be respectful. And because it's the venue too. I mean, the venue overall is quite a respected venue in town, so I think that kind of changes their behavior too.
Maybe.
And then the other neat thing about the whole event, and that was kind of one part that I look forward to, is that after the kids get their degrees, they turn down the lights. It's like pitch black in there. So, if you have fears, but it's outdoors. But what they do is there's a church downtown that, I don't know, for the last 100 years or something, every time a class is graduated from that particular high school, they play the church bells to the tune of the high school's alma mater. So,
how cool.
So it's completely silent, and then you hear the church bells in the distance playing the graduation song. So it's really cool. I mean, it's neat. I mean, yeah, so we're done. So now she got home last night at 11 after all the graduation stuff, and she was on a bus by 8 a.m. this morning heading off to Disney until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So.
Yep. Fun.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
She'll be sleeping for a week.
Yeah, last big blowout.
Yeah. So,
for the high school people, anyway.
Yeah, and so that was our whole, so that's it with high school.
Are you having a graduation party?
No, we're contributing to her. She and her dad are going to Iceland. So,
yes.
So
that is fair to make that an either or.
Yeah, the family pitched in money for that, and
right.
Although we're finding that Iceland is hugely expensive.
Oh dear.
It should be her graduation, birthday, and Christmas wrapped up into one. But yeah, so no, but she does have a few other parties to go to, so we're going to do some party hopping on Saturday, and and just wrap it up, and we just, now moving on to the next thing. Now we're going to start thinking about packing her up for university, because she's got to go in 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so exciting, though. It's such a neat time.
It's an exciting time, but it's kind of weird, now, I was saying to my friend, I just felt this huge shift yesterday about how all of a sudden I'm supposed to, I don't know, just my role. And I mean, even though I've been through it with my son, it's just, I don't know, I feel a little different with my daughter about the whole thing. But
yeah. So
yeah. And then Catherine's next. You're up next year.
Yeah. We're up. We watched the live stream of the graduation this year, my daughter and I. So that was good, because like you said, I wouldn't have wanted to go and sit through the whole thing.
No.
And there probably wasn't room, but being able to just watch the live stream was pretty handy.
Yeah.
And I believe I did see one beach ball, and the principal was like not happy about the beach ball. Said something about it. But this class also got in big trouble for their senior pranks because they were destructive. I mean, they were like stopping up sinks and doing a lot of, things. First of all, they weren't creative. They weren't coordinated. They were just annoying. They were destructive to the school building. So they all had to go. The people who were found responsible all had to go in and clean and repair what they had done. But then they did get to walk. So, in previous years, they did stuff like all the seniors brought in a kazoo and played it in the hall, which, that doesn't destroy any property.
Yes.
Like it's, and as my daughter said, the teachers could just take them if they wanted to. Like it wasn't, that was a better idea for a prank.
Right.
So, and I don't know if does your kids' schools do this where the kids bring some small little thing and hand it to the principal when they're shaking his hand, so that he has to have.
They talked about it, but
he
they
has
didn't.
to have like a bucket of but what they did this year was they each gave anybody who participated just gave like $1 bill, and then at the end he gave it to charity.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a nice idea. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like a penny or it's a puzzle piece or some random little object, but it was actually money. So
that's cool. The only thing our kids hand anybody is a card with their name on it for somebody to read.
To pronounce it.
Just instead of having a list, they just, they go up and they hand somebody their name, and then the name gets called. Right. So that they don't worry about getting out of water. I don't know if everybody does that, but.
Well, our principal actually, as she was talking about the whole paper toss thing last night, because she brought it up in her speech, and the reason she brought it up in her speech was that I guess in previous years, and so this was the reason why they let it slide, which I didn't mention earlier, but in previous years, they'd throw the paper and then walk away and the custodians would pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Well, this year, they threw the paper and then the kids all stayed to pick it up.
Oh,
so she said it was nice to see that they turned a senior prank into a senior thank. So I was kind of like, okay, a little cheesy, but that works.
Yeah.
Right.
Although then, what was the point of doing it in the first place? But
yeah, but it made it a harmless, fun photo op. Like,
yes,
if they pick it up, I don't see the harm in letting them do it.
That's very sweet. But it's sort of like TPing somebody's house and then taking a picture and then un-TPing it.
Then going back and cleaning it up.
I mean, it's thoughtful, but could have just...
but you still get the picture. That's why
you could have taken the picture and then photoshopped some toilet paper into it. This is will be the next step. It will be virtual pranks.
Right.
Take a picture of a wall of the school and then add graffiti to it in your photo processing app.
Right.
Super simple.
So I've got people now asking me left, right, and center, where are the pictures? Where are the pictures? But it was so chaotic last night that it's like I just realized we didn't get a single picture, Kristen, just of her and her.
Well, if it's anything like what they do here, you will get in the mail some professional photographers offer to sell you pricey but nice looking pictures.
Yeah, because they get it right up close when their principal's handing them. Yes. Yeah, I imagine that'll come in a day or two.
You bet it will.
But in the meantime, people are chomping at the bit. So, but it was kind of cool because, like Catherine and her daughter had watched the graduation live streaming. We actually had family in Australia and family in Canada. And then we had some friends in another part of the U.S., and they all watched the live stream. That is really neat. Yeah. So it was kind of cool that people tuned in, and it's neat.
That is great.
So,
well, I'm glad everything went well, and that she did not prank herself out of the opportunity to walk, and that this chapter of your life has come to a graceful close, as is now this podcast episode.
That's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for a brand new entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week for more summer sampler episodes.